Alright, so this was another good episode. If I had to describe this episode, I would call it heavy weights on your shoulders type of episode. Because we got to see our main characters really go through some stuff. It could be stuff at work or even stuff the person they know is going through, i.e. Ik-soon. Don't worry, I'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, this was a very burden on your shoulders type of episode. And what I like about season 2 so far, even though it's only been 2 episodes, is our main characters are being with other characters more than each other. I think they already did this in season 1, but I can't remember season 1 that well. But yeah, just seeing them with the other characters, it's really a good thing. Just seeing their relationships with the other characters develop even more. Don't get me wrong, I love our main characters. I love it when they hang out together. We know that they've known each other for a very long time. They eat together, hang out together, play music together, nag about each other, towards each other. But just seeing them with the other characters, again, yeah, it's nice to see their relationships develop even more and they're not trapped within their little friendship circle. It was very refreshing to see Ik-joon act really, really serious. I mean, we love our very funny, very goofy, and always being extra type of character Ik-joon is, but just seeing him act very serious towards the patient who kept on drinking, and he had 2 liver surgeries before that one scene. He had it last year and he had it 3 years ago, and he continued to drink. So seeing Ik-joon just act really serious and tell the patient what he needed to hear, it was very refreshing. After watching this episode, it reminded me how much I give props to doctors and nurses, basically everyone under the hospital umbrella. Because it's always an amazing news to hear that a doctor has saved someone's life. It's always an amazing news. But when you get to the point where they can't save someone, I can only imagine the amount of burden and heavy weights on their shoulders knowing that they couldn't save someone. It doesn't matter who they are. It could be an adult, a teenager, or even a child, or even an infant. I can only imagine. And I gotta give props to doctors, man. Now with the patients, I'm only going to talk about 3 of them. One is Min-chan, the one who needed heart surgery. The second one is the violin player, the one who had the brain tumor. And the third one, the lady who was 18 to 19 weeks pregnant. Not gonna lie, I had a gut feeling that one of them, if not all of them, was going to have a bad ending. I did not want them to have a bad ending. But since it is a drama, you gotta have dramatic moments. So unfortunately, one of them did get a bad ending. It was the lady who lost her baby. Seok Hyeong did everything that he could to try to save her baby. But yeah, that was, man, to be honest, when he had to break down the news to the husband and to his wife and the husband in their room, man, not gonna lie, I shed a tear. I really did. Alright, to start this review, let's talk about Jeong Won. So for Jeong Won, yeah, he dealt with a patient. It was the kid who needed to get the stitches removed, and his mom was very upset that he wasn't staying still, but the dad was there to encourage his kid. So it looks like the kid kind of preferred the dad more than the mom, since the mom was very strict. He did talk to the mom, and things are okay. But the one thing I want to talk about Jeong Won is when he revealed his relationship to everyone. Now, so right after eating ramen and eating strawberries and being sidetracked after talking about work, he revealed that he was dating Gyul for a month to his friends. And to be honest, I was kind of confused because I thought it wasn't a secret. I thought they knew. But it turns out they didn't. Well, except for Seok Hyeong. He knew because his mom told him, and apparently Jeong Won's mom told his mom, and then his mom told him. So yeah, but basically overall, I really thought it wasn't a secret. Now let's talk about Joonan and Ik-soon, mostly Ik-soon. First off, I love this couple. I can't wait for them to reveal their relationship to Ik-joon, but I think it's pretty obvious that Ik-joon knows. Now, apparently, Ik-soon dealt with racism. So right after the surgery, Joonan called Ik-soon. He was going to tell her that the surgery was a success, but he knew from Ik-soon's tone that she was upset. Joonan asked why. She says she dealt with a racist person. So Ik-sun said that she went to a cafe to order latte. Apparently they couldn't understand her and there were some talking and bam, racism. And what I like about this scene is that Junnan, he was going to talk about the surgery being a success, but he put that to the side and try to comfort her. That's what a boyfriend should do, and he did that. So that's what I like about that scene, Junnan comforting Ik-sun. What I don't like, that Ik-sun dealt with racism. To be honest, I've dealt with racism before. To be honest, it just makes you want to scream. It makes you ask why, but yeah. Now I want to talk about the patients. I do want to talk about Seok and Seok Hyeong, but their story overlaps with the patients. So I'm going to talk about the violin player. So the violin player, she has a brain tumor. Seok is the doctor that's going to perform the surgery. Now for the violin player's mom, she was acting very, I know you guys know that there is a word I would say to describe her personality at the beginning, but I don't want to say it. It starts with a B, but yeah, she was acting very Now later on, the night before the surgery, Seok was basically telling them what they needed to hear. But the mom was like, well, I want a different doctor, a more knowledgeable doctor. She wanted the doctor, Professor Che Seok, not knowing that she's in front of her the entire time, which she does find out and she has a salty moment. But Seok, which I do give her props for this one, she tells her that all of the residents are neurosurgeons. They have been doing this for, I think she said 10 years or 10 plus years, but it doesn't matter. They have done it for a very long time. And even some of them have more knowledge on the patient than her. So Seok was basically telling her, hey, it doesn't matter if she was doing a surgery or a resident doctor was doing a surgery. They all can perform the job because that's what they studied and practiced and spent years trying to do. So no discriminating, pretty much. And then after the surgery, it was a success. The brain tumor was removed. What was interesting was that the mom wanted to see Seok, and she pretty much asked her, hey, are you seeing anyone? Why don't you see my son? Interesting. I mean, we already have Ik-jun having a crush on Seok. We do have that one other doctor we haven't seen since season 1. I don't know if he's going to appear in season 2, who also has a crush on Seok. I don't think we need a third person. The next patient I want to get to is the mother who was 18 to 19 weeks pregnant. So an emergency happened. The baby was coming out. The cord was coming out. Mina called Seok Hyeong to hurry up and get to the surgery room, and they performed the surgery. Unfortunately, they couldn't save the baby. One of the doctors who was in the surgery room had to break the news down to the husband while the wife was still in the surgery room. What really, really broke my heart first was hearing the news. The second one was seeing the wife in the surgery room having a tear fall down from her eyes. And then later on, seeing Seok Hyeong and Mina really break the news down to not only the husband, but also the wife in their hospital room. Man, that really brought me to tears. That really did. And then throughout the episode, you can see Seok Hyeong having this heavy burden on his shoulders, not being able to save the baby. And then towards the end of this episode, we see flowers and a card being sent to Seok Hyeong. It was from the lady. And in the letter, basically to sum it all up, it basically says they thank him for trying his best to save her baby, even though he couldn't. And this is something that he shouldn't feel sorry for. And if the time comes for them to have another baby, she wants him to be there for them to save her and her baby. And what was pretty awesome was that there was a quote that Seok Hyeong said to them that they framed, and they took a picture of it, and it says, bad things at times happen to good people. And that was one heck of a moment, I have to say. It was sad, but also, it's like, And then towards the end of the episode, it wasn't anything special, I guess, but it was just Seonghwa oversleeping, the cafe closed, but then she goes to her car, finds 2 cups of coffee on the hood of her car. I think it's from Ik-jun. I have a feeling it is, if not from the female nurse or doctor. But yeah, and that was the end of the episode. So again, this was a very good episode, really showing us what doctors go through, and I give props to doctors for everything that they go through. I can only imagine, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not studying the B1. I get woozy every time I see a large amount of blood and even broken limbs. So again, I give props to doctors. And I also appreciate in this episode for bringing up an issue of discrimination. Hearing Ik-sun just dealing with a racist person and seeing Seonghwa being discriminated because of the mother discriminating her for not being knowledgeable of being a resident and not being good enough to perform the surgery on her daughter. So it was pretty cool to see them bring up the issue and seeing our characters go through it, which I mean, it is a sensitive issue. You don't want to see anyone going through it, but I mean, it does relate to real life. So I appreciate them bringing that type of issue up. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the episode and my review. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. If you like this review, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya!